Simply asking around has paid off again, and a friend of mine, via a friend of mine, I've got these barrels. There's about 10 of them, but I picked up the first 3. The rest are still under a pile of snow. I'll pick them up when the snow's melted. I've got various projects in mind, but they're sealed at both ends. There's no actual lid that comes off. Now, I was just going to cut it with the angle grinder, but obviously there's going to be a little bit of oil residue in there. So cutting it is going to produce a lot of sparks. I don't really want them flying in there. A little bit unpredictable. So what I noticed is that these edges are bent over. So what I'm going to do with this one is just grind the top off until I can see 2 pieces of metal and then knock this out. So let's see how that goes. So after just a little bit of grinding, you can clearly see the 3 layers of metal, and I'm hoping that that's just going to pop out. There we go. With this one, because this is going to be my potato barrel, I've taken out the bottom of the barrel rather than the top. Most of them I'll be taking the top off, but for this one I'm leaving the bottom in so I can open the plugs, and those will be drain holes. But first things first, I need to get this barrel clean. What I'm going to do is, as I've done with this one, just fill it with snow at this stage, and once that's melted I'll add some detergent and get these washed ready for the next stage. Okay, just did a first quick surface dig of the vegetable patch. Last year I just had this one little row of potatoes. I was quite pleased today when I turned that over to still find there's still some potatoes in there, enough for my supper. Tomorrow I'll be turning all this over and pulling out as many stones as I can, and then I've got a nice big pile of manure up there that I'm going to be digging in. All winter I have been bringing down the ash from the fireplaces. The house is heated exclusively with wood. I cook exclusively with wood, so there's a lot of ash. So all the way through the winter, whenever I've emptied the ash, I've brought it down here. I made this box with a mesh on the bottom to shake the ash onto the top of the snow. I burn a lot of recycled wood, so there's nails and hinges and handles and everything, but sift it through onto the top of the snow, then it snows on top, and then some more ash, and then it snows on top, and now it's all melted down. So hopefully there's some nutrients gone down into this soil, but it's going to mean it's more alkaline now. So here's where I'm going to be doing the vegetables that prefer the alkali soil. But an update on the potato barrel. I got it cleaned out, and at 2 different heights I cut 3 slots, and then just with a wood carving mallet just bashed in above the slot. I cut the slot on this line where there's some extra strength, bash these in, so that now I'm going to fill this with a mixture of manure and soil. Looks quite cool from inside. I'll get, I think, probably 3 potato plants in the top, and then 1 potato plant in each of the little balconies. So we'll see how that goes, as it's just an experiment. There was the sharp edge on here. I started sanding it off, and then I realised that this works really nicely. It's just a piece of garden hose cut open and slotted on there. So no danger of getting cut on the sharp edges. See how this does. In this spot it's going to get quite a lot of evening sun. There's not really much point to me doing this barrel apart from just as an experiment, because I'm going to be planting half of my front field with potatoes, so I'm going to have more potatoes than I can eat and store right through the winter. But it'll be interesting to see if this works as a space-saving idea. And once they're all grown, I can just tip the whole barrel over, empty it all out and sift out the potatoes. So I'll get that all filled up tomorrow, and should be getting my seed potatoes soon so I can get it planted as well, and I will do an update on it at some point, see how it works. One more thing, almost forgot, that up here next to my compost pile I've got another idea of where I'm going to be growing some stuff. Not sure what I'm growing in these. Maybe what would be good in there? I usually grow basil and mint and stuff down here, but maybe up here I'll grow some lettuces or cabbages or something. Put some rocks in the bottom, then maybe a bit of gravel before I put some manure and soil in. So there'll always be some water in the bottom, but what shouldn't get too much because it empties out the back through the U-bend. Have to have a think about what I'm going to grow in there. Pumpkin, that would be good.